Happy Friday. Today, the topic is joy. How do I get it? And if I have it, how do I keep it? Or how do I get more of it? We're studying Paul's letter to the church in Philippi. We're in the introductory verses. We've thought about Paul and about serving, grace, and peace. We now come to verse 3, in which Paul writes sort of perfunctory opening words, but I think profound. I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers, I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. He goes on with this, talking about how God's going to perfect the work in us. There's a whole lot that he says, and there's a whole lot right there. I want us to think about the word joy because the letter to the Philippians is often thought of as a letter about joy. And this is the first time the word appears, and so I want us to unpack it over the course of the next several days. So when we think about joy, and I'm going to use the word joy and happiness interchangeably here, not everybody does. Some people would argue that happiness is more tied to circumstances or happenings, and that joy is a deeper quality. I get that. But I'm going to use them interchangeably here, and I'm not thinking about being euphoric or giddy. I'm thinking about a deep sense of well-being, a soul satisfaction, a contentment. And this is what we're after. Aristotle argued that joy is the summum bonum of life, the greatest good. And as Christ followers, we don't always agree with everything that Aristotle says, but I think he's point on right here. It is the ultimate goal. We do what we do. We want what we want. We love what we love because we want to be happy. And we think these things will make us happy. We even do things we don't want to do, like exercise or take medicine that tastes bad because we think it'll make us healthy. And we think that being healthy is more likely to make us happy. So there's a statement that says, what good is money? It can't buy you happiness. And that's because money is not an ultimate good. It's not a summum bonum. But happiness is. Nobody says, what good is happiness? It can't buy you money. Because what we want is not money. What we want is happiness. We're after things that we think are going to make us happy. So the point I want to make today, and I'm going to make a handful of points about joy. The point I want to make today is a simple one, but perhaps a surprising one. I want you to realize that the most joyful being in the universe, the happiest being in the universe, is God. God is joyful. He has a deep sense of soul satisfaction, a sense of contentment, a sense of well-being. C.S. Lewis writes that joy is the serious business of heaven. And if you don't get that God has joy and that he wants you to know joy, then we're starting in the wrong place. So I hope that today, even in the midst of a global pandemic, you know the joy that comes from God. Have a great weekend.